So this is just getting all the fat and all the crud that's coming off of the raw chicken. As it slowly cooks, it will pull all this stuff to the top. You know, because fat is lighter than water, so it'll float. And you got all these like little, you know, all that crummy stuff that you don't really want to eat. That makes your stock cloudy and greasy. And I use a bane of hot water to just kind of, as a receptacle, just dump that stuff in there. After you're done, you can actually just dump that outside, since you know it's all natural material. So in a bush, or you know, once all the stuff starts to break down and kind of rot or ferment, it'll kind of turn into a fertilizer. Same with used cooking oil. It's all biodegradable. Alright, now we're going to Carrot Town. Try to find a couple of very similarly sized carrots so that you don't have to spend too long breaking them down. Stock is one of those things that's usually made every day. When you come in the morning, chicken stock will probably be on your morning guy prep list, and it's one of those. It's a bigger project, especially for a restaurant where you're making gallons and gallons and gallons and gallons of stock for use for probably the next couple of days, or depending on what you have on your menu, maybe not. Maybe it's that day. Like maybe you make stock fresh every day. A lot of Asian restaurants do a different style of stock, which I'll probably cover when we do some Asian stuff, but they make stock every single day, maybe a couple times during the day. It really kind of depends. And then similar size to the onions, just nice discs of carrot. And if you find yourself having the carrots kind of rolling away on you, you can always cut at an angle, because this piece of carrot's not going to roll very far, as a regular disc of carrot will. A little bit of snacky snack, just like last week. Alright, now leeks. Leeks are onions for the most part. The only part that I want to put in stock is the big green top part. This is all I want. It's got a nice, deep kind of, that kind of grassy onion flavor. It's a good way to use up leek tops. Okay, so this is getting to be almost a full thing of stock vegetables, which is awesome. I can just kind of hang out here. So then I'll probably do like braised leeks or something with chicken this evening. The last little bit, the easiest bit, bunch of parsley. The only part you really want is the stems for this. So that's a lot of stems. That's kind of what you want. Now, the parsley leaves, all these nice leaves, can be saved for, I don't know, whatever you want to put parsley in. But if you want to throw the whole thing in, I would suggest taking these leaves out once they start to turn a little bit brown. Because after the vegetables start to turn brown, especially green ones, they're obviously overcooked, and they offer like zero more flavor to the dish, and will tend to overcook into like a very bitter flavor. So that's not something that you really want to eat. Alright, so you can see I've moved the stock pot a little bit so the flame is sitting here on this side, kind of right in here. That creates a convection current within the pot, and that will help pull all the impurities to one side, the back side in this case, and it'll be easier to skim all of this stuff off as it rises to the top. And you want to be very gentle when you do this. You don't want to stir the stock at all, because that'll make they'll kind of tend to bring all of the stuff that's sifting down to the bottom through this gentle heat up to the top, and could reincorporate itself into the stock. So you can see that that's all fat and just sort of gross stuff. So this, technically stock, I'll also throw a little salt in here to kind of help with things. Stock is technically made all from bones and vegetables, with some fresh herbs and spices. Broth is something made from meat. So if you ever hear chicken broth, that's boiled chicken water for the most part. I'm doing both because I can and I want to, but just technically speaking, broth is made from the meat and stock is made from the bones. Stock is usually cooked a lot longer than broth is, especially things like veal stock, lamb stock, duck stock. Those things go for hours and hours and hours. We used to make 2 stock pots the size of Fiat 500s of veal stock every few days in San Francisco. Like these were gigantic stock pots, like as pretty much as big as this stove is around in diameter. And we'd let those go overnight. So the night sous chef would, you build them throughout the day because it's a very long process as far as like blanching the bones a couple of times, making sure that they're that you have the proper ratios of vegetables, etc., etc. So that would be built by the day guys, and then it would go up during service at night probably, and then it would be cooked until the morning guys showed back up the next day to take it down and cool it off and store it properly. We're talking about stock. The proper ratio of vegetables to meat is for every 5 pounds of bones, it's 1 pound of processed vegetables as far as broken down vegetables. So this is going to be a lot of vegetables for this, but I tend to go a little bit vegetable heavy just because I love the flavor of garden vegetables in the finished product. You can really taste kind of the green of the parsley and the leeks, and then that kind of nice cooked oniony goodness. And especially with chicken stock, which is chicken's kind of a bland meat. It helps it along a lot.